Dan Ackerman here, and we have got Apple's newly redesigned 13-inch MacBook. The most obvious change is clearly physical. It's now housed in an aluminum chassis, much like the MacBook Pros. In fact, both these new MacBooks and the Pros are made now by taking a solid block of aluminum and they kind of carve out the insides and then put all the components in. The end result is a system that's a little bit lighter and it's also much sturdier. The other big physical change is this giant touchpad right here. They've taken the touchpad, made it nice and big, and they've taken away that big button that used to be on the bottom. The entire touchpad now depresses like a button. You just click down and it goes thunk thunk. Now the bigger mouse pad lets us do more of the gestures that everybody likes so much about MacBooks. You know, 2 fingers for scrolling, and now they've got a whole bunch of 4-finger gestures. So if you flick your fingers up like this, it'll hide everything and go back to your desktop. If you flick your fingers down, it'll bring all your programs back up. And if you flick your 4 fingers to the side like this, it brings up the app switcher. You also get, only if you get the more expensive of the 2 MacBook models, a backlit keyboard, and the screen is now an LED display just like on the Pros and the MacBook Airs, and it's covered with a single sheet of glass all the way from edge to edge. Gives it a nice sleek unified look. However, some people say it gets a little bit too glossy. One of the more notable changes is actually inside. It's got the same, Intel CPUs that we're used to, but they've gotten rid of the Intel chipset and integrated graphics, which basically meant you couldn't really play any games on the regular MacBook, and they've added a new NVIDIA chipset, which has, again, integrated graphics, but NVIDIA integrated graphics that actually do a pretty decent job. This now has a mini DisplayPort connection, and if you want to output like a VGA or an HDMI, you're going to need a little external dongle, and somewhere lost in the shuffle is our old friend, the FireWire port. No longer the MacBook. You got to either trade up to the MacBook Pro if you want FireWire, or I'll let you in on a little secret. The basic $999 plastic MacBook that Apple is still selling still has a FireWire port. I'm Dan Ackerman, and that's the new Apple MacBook.